I think we'll let Jiffry introduce himself. Jiffry, are you on board? You want to turn on your video and say hello?
Yes, I'm here, Peter. I
Okay,
believe you can
wonderful.
see me.
Okay, then maybe you'd like to say 2 words kind of about who you are, what you do. We got a couple people from Sri Lanka. I've been working with Janani for about 3 years, and I have the Pick Me app. It doesn't help me very much in Switzerland, but when I'm in Switzerland, when I am in Sri Lanka, it's my preferred way to get around. Could you maybe just give us a little bit of background about who you are, what you do, and what is Pick Me?
Okay, thank you. I'm super pumped to be here. What I do is I am the CEO of this ride-hailing company that started as a ride-hailing company, and today we are more of a super app in Sri Lanka. So the company is in mobility, and we're obviously very excited about the opportunities of mobility in the country. We are a local-based solution provider that we have about 3 million people using us in Sri Lanka, and of course we have a number of merchants and driver partners that work on this platform. So that's just a summary of me and the company.
Okay, so Janani, I will pass the talking stick to you. We have a very interesting situation, a very interesting background, and I'm looking forward to a great talk. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter. I'm so excited and I'm looking forward to this conversation. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. And it's a great pleasure to have you part of Product Owner Festival.
Pleasure being here as well.
Great, great. So Zulfer, now you're very much known to us to the fact that building great products and inspiring the world with great products with so much passion and purpose put into it. In fact, that's how I got to know you during the leadership workshop we did with Peter 3 years ago. But I'm sure our audience and our attendees would love to know in your own words who you are, Zulfer.
All right. Okay. So so apart from the titles that I hold, I'm a person who likes to discover things. I like to innovate. I like to make things. And obviously, I love to see how I can turn them into businesses, and that's what I am, and that's what I want to be. And I'm hoping to sort of evolve and sort of produce innovative products or services to the people of the world.
Lovely, lovely. Turning great ideas to great products. Yeah, so that continue to amaze me as well, because when leadership and entrepreneurship come together, it creates great results. Yeah, so Zulfa, I'd love to know, curious to know, what are you doing these days? What are you excited about, especially these days?
Yeah, so I think the nature of our business or the products that we do are very much connected to people's lifestyle, right? Mobility is such that you need it. I keep saying that it's the heartbeat of an economy. Now, at the scale that we operate in this country, we can essentially say whether the country is moving or not, right? And I'm sure the audience would have obviously been hearing a lot more of the situation in Sri Lanka, and we are essentially the heartbeat of the country, right? When people move, the economy moves, and I can tell you the people are moving around, and I'm actually very happy that the country will be able to come out of this economic crisis that we've got into. But more importantly, I'm excited about the future of mobility, the future of technology. What are the use cases that we can change through the technologies that we have. We've done a lot of things, obviously ride hailing to the food delivery ecosystem, introducing things like pooling. Now we're working on exciting areas like last mile deliveries, and making sure that in a press of a button, you are able to get what you want.
Awesome, awesome. So I really loved what you mentioned about heartbeat, about the community. So again, that reminds me the role product owner as well. So product owner is another important role that brings heartbeat to the agile teams as well. Now, when we talk the word product ownership, Zulfa, what does that mean to you when we say product ownership?
I think so. Of course, I've not had any formal training on product owners. I just happen to be a product owner. When I started this company, and I sort of got into the position of telling people what has to be done and how do we make sure we create wonderful experiences. Turning to the developers and say, hey, how do we make sure that we create a great product this way, right? So I just got into that position, and I realized there is something called product owner. Meeting with folks like you, and then realizing, oh my God, how do we make sure that Scrum and product owners work really well? And answer your question, it's a bit of it's more of being the bridge between business and the development, right? And that's where the product owner comes in. And how do we make sure that we sort of get both of these to talk to each other, and that in between bridge is what product owners do, and ensuring that we read the business well on one side, and then we ensure that we deliver wonderful experiences from the development side.
Indeed. So great products will come when there is a great conversations and great communication between the business and IT. And that's the bridge that you are creating as a product owner. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so Zulfa, I'm really excited about the Product Owner Festival and especially your speech, your keynote. So I was simply blown away with the topic. You say you're developing and cultivating innovative product owners in the frontier market. Tell us something about it and what people really going to discover out of your speech.
Yeah. So having worked in developed markets as well, I just wanted to sort of relate to what it is to become a product owner in frontier markets, right? So frontier markets are emerging markets, developing markets, whatever you call it, because it has its own challenges, right? And I don't want to give too much away today, right? I think I want to save them up for the festival, but I think it has its own challenges and of course, a number of opportunities, right? And I want to go into detail talking about it, in ensuring that anyone looking for being part of a company in emerging markets, how successful you could become playing this role, and of course the opportunities of being part of a product owner in one of these companies that are now emerging. We're seeing a lot of unicorns appearing from frontier markets, right? So I think it's a great opportunity for POs out here to look at these markets. These are untapped opportunities that are available.
Wow, wow. So I think there are lots of hidden gems to be uncovered, and I'm really excited for this. So to ask a little bit more about your speech, Zulfa, who's going to be really benefit from the audience? Because this is going to be a global audience coming from different industries and domains. Who would you think that going to be benefit from your keynote, and why should they not miss your topic?
Yeah. So I think so like I said, obviously I'm very focused. I'll talk more about frontier markets and what it is to be successful here. But more importantly, I think it's something for everyone, right? I think everyone, I'm sure everyone will take something away, because I think when you work for a product company, having been a CEO, being a CEO of the company, I would like everyone to think like a product owner, right? Even a developer to think of, think from the side of the product owner as well as the business, right? So I think it's for everyone, and I think everyone will have something to take away, and ensure that whenever they get back to their working environments or their workplaces, they're able to sort of relate to some of the challenges product owners face as well.
Lovely, lovely. I just liked what you mentioned, like what if everyone thinks like a product owner? I believe that's where you create the alignment, which is so much required in any organization. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, so I'm already getting excited. I know that today you're not going to share everything and we're going to save it for the keynote. But is there anything that you would like to share as final thoughts, like for our attendees today, what they can take away from your speech?
So, please join the festival, right? I think that's the first thing. I think we need to we need to have this communication going, and obviously I've extended my services or my support to the event. I'm also available on Twitter. If any of you have any questions to raise, please do that to my Twitter handle, and I'm happy to reply to them as soon as I can. And I'm obviously very excited. I would love to hear some of the challenges some of us as product owners are facing. Maybe I might have an answer, maybe Peter might have an answer, or we could all learn something new. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And yeah, I look forward to seeing every one of you as well.
Thank you so much, Zulfer. So we are excited as well and very much looking forward to your speech. Yes, Peter, over to you.
Okay, so thank you, and thank you very much, Zulfer. As I say, I'm really excited about this. What do you think? Maybe just one last question for you. When you talk about a company that's growing up in a classical developed market like the United States or someplace in Europe, what do you think is the biggest difference to developing a product owners in a frontier market? What's the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, so I think one is so one area that I think that sort of comes on top of this is time management. What's time? What's the time? For example, if you were to work in a company in say in Germany as against in the US and in South Asia, right? 5 minutes difference is a lot. Perhaps in Germany, maybe it's normal in the US, just like you sort of mentioned at the beginning. But in a country like us, it's good enough, right? So when it comes to delivery, how is that reflected in terms of time? So that's one area that I'd like to. That's one difference. But in terms of, there are so many other attributes, if I may put it that way, that I would like to touch upon at the festival.
Okay, awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. So what I'd like to do, if people have a question, what I'd like to invite you to do is raise your hand so that we can call on you and unmute you. One of the problems with kind of how do we do this? How do we hold a global event? It's always in the middle of the night somewhere. Okay, which makes it very difficult to get everybody on board. And so we're going to see this in a moment with the talk with Joe Justice, who's in Hawaii. But one of the things that we can do is we can reach out to each other over Twitter. And so, if you have a Twitter account, we've got the hashtag globalPOfestival. That's going to be our hashtag. And Zulfer's hashtag is really easy to remember. It's Zulfer with the @ and mine is Peter Stev. So Peter plus the first 4 letters of my last name. And if you just want to tweet us a question or a comment or something, we'll be happy to to pick up on it. Is anyone holding up their hand now, Janani? Is there someone who'd like to ask a question right away?